What's up, y'all? You're watching Brooklyn Shuffleboard, and we are out here at the finals of our Spring-Summer Singles League. It's going to be me versus Bob in the grand finals. Winner gets a grand. We had 64 people of the 64 of the best shuffleboard players in Brooklyn playing. There was a regular season, 7 weeks long. Then today we've been running top 8 semifinals, and now the finals. I'm going to be playing, so joining you for commentary is going to be Missy, Keiko.
What's up?
And Adam Fertino, who's giving a lot of high fives at the moment. And it's going to be a fun one. They're gonna talk about shuffleboard strategy, try to walk you through what's going through our heads, why we're taking different shots. Court 2 is kind of a bit of a tricky drift, so they're going to help navigate that. And yeah, it's going to be a blast.
So, what is going through your mind right now, Jeff?
Oh, we're doing an interview? Okay, sure. I'm feeling pretty good. That last match, I felt pretty calm, cool, and collected. The first match against Eric in the round of 8, I was nervous. I made some mistakes. So I think we're going to have a really good match. I'm feeling pretty good about it.
And knowing Bob as a player, is there anything that you're looking out for or thinking about while you're going to play him?
What's funny is that Bob and I haven't really played a lot against each other. Like,
really?
I don't even know if we've ever played against each other. So,
interesting.
Yeah. So I think I'm just going to play my game. You know, it's really important that you stick to your game plan, kind of play your game.
That's great.
All right, I think we're going to get Bob here.
Bob's opinion.
Missy's going to ask you a quick question
Just
here.
a couple quick questions. So, what are you thinking about leading into this match?
Well, Jeff is standing right here. I can't tell him what I'm thinking. I can't. You know, it's all a secret.
Yeah.
It's a top
Anything
secret.
that you're thinking about going into this match?
I'm just going to try to play my game, try to do good hides, try to clear without sticking, all the good stuff. Try not to make any mistakes.
And how are you feeling after your last couple matches? Feeling good?
I feel good, but I'm exhausted.
Oh, yeah. It's a long day of shuffleboard.
I think there's a lot, everybody's playing great. Every shot matters. Every frame matters. You got to hit your hammers. You got to try to hide when you can. And hope that there's a little opening, a little something happens that gives you a little chance to steal a hammer.
Awesome.
So if I can steal a hammer, I'll feel great.
Well, we're so excited, and I know you guys are going to be warming up shortly, so just those 2 quick questions. So you're going to do great. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
All right, so we're out here. Oh, Jeff's coming back in.
All right, I'm just going to wish y'all, I'm just going to say thanks for watching, hit subscribe, and I'm going to give the mic over to my man Adam. Have a good one.
And start their practice shots. Everybody, welcome Adam to the game.
What's up, y'all? We are missing some discs on court 2. We'll get that fixed first, and then we'll get this game started.
So something that just happened, if you're following along with all the games, is we just had our speed shuffle to decide our 3rd place and 4th place players. And do you want to tell them the results of 3rd and 4th?
Oh, it was fun. Yeah, we did a up and down speed shuffle, so 16 shots, 8 up, 8 down. Roger had a bit of a deficit. It was 47-21 after the front 8. Ended up tied, 79-79. So we did another 8 shots, and Alyssa took it. So great speed shuffle from both of them. Roger has now made top 4 in back-to-back single seasons. Very impressive. He also made a top 4 in Thanksgiving, so he is on a bit of a run in terms of
amazing.
singles.
Do you, Adam, will you tell them a little bit about do you know off the top of your head the prize pools? Like, what did, Alyssa and Roger just win?
Yeah, so first of all, top 8 was today. Everybody got paid today. Everybody who placed 5th through 8th got their money back at $50. Roger and Alyssa were playing for $300 and $200 respectively, so $100 difference. That's lunch money in New York, but it's well worth it at the end of the day, and I know they both feel happy with their results.
I will say getting any prize money feels good. So $200 in my pocket, I'd be happy. And also getting back your prize money, I think, is a great way to do 5th through 8th place. That's wonderful.
Yeah, I mean, getting it up to 64 people this season allowed us to bump prize money from top 4 to top 8. It's no secret that I love giving out money, big prizes, true to the core. Yeah, if we can continue to grow this, either entry fees or player pools, I would love to continue giving out big prizes. We're playing for $1,200 and $700 respectively in this match. It's going to be same as always, 16 frames, switch after 8.
I do wonder, I don't know if we've asked around enough, but what some people know of as the highest prize for shuffleboard. We do like to think we probably have the highest payout ever. That's
always been a goal of mine. Kevin Reedy and the Chicago crew got a prize up to $1,000 last year, and our first place was also $1,000 for single season 2. So I talked with the board. I added $1 to that. We gave out $1,001 last year. So continuing to give out the most money in the world in shuffleboard. Hopefully going to increase year over year.
That's pretty amazing. I have won. In Brooklyn, I placed second in the first round of like singles league we did. I lost against Nick Shields, who was in the final 8. You know, I felt good winning. Like it was like $500 something, but it was pretty awesome. But a grand would have been real nice.
Yeah, I feel like at the time single season 1 looked like a lot of money, but now we're looking back and we're like, you know, we're playing for a lot more now. So it's a testament to the growth of the game here in singles especially. Brooklyn's really embraced the singles game, and, you know, the prizes show.
So something, you know, they're warming up here, and, you know, in prior games leading up to this, I've been talking about what I like to do when I warm up. You know, I take my 4 shots. I take 2 from the outside, 2 from the inside. I like to shoot the 10 to make sure I'm hitting that. What do you normally like to do when you warm up?
Well, I'm not as good as you or the 2 people playing right now, so I try and just get an idea for the speed and the drift. I'm typically trying to figure out which discs are going fast, which are going slow. I'm looking for drift lines. I'll probably try and go 7, left side 7, right side 7, and then try and kitchen both of those. I feel like I get the most information out of those 4 shots, but I mean, it's no secret to anybody watching that we have a lot of variance on these courts. So if I'm playing on a different court, sometimes I'm just figuring out high drift and like figuring out where I'm going to score my most points and practicing that.
Yeah, and I feel like it's worth touching on this. So on say you're playing in a national tournament, you actually get like 8 shots to take you get 2 for speed, 4, and then 4 more. So what a lot of people do is they'll do the 2 for speed, they'll do 4 to figure out the drift in the court, and then the second 4 to do like what you were talking about, where you score and try to like kitchen things. So we only do 4. It comes down to a little bit of like time. That's what we do in the league. It just takes time to do all of those warm-up shots, so we kind of leave it to the game.
Yeah, and a lot of these matches, it really boils down to when you play enough shuffleboard, it's everybody figures out their strengths and their weaknesses, and with a limited set of practice shots, you really have to just kind of figure out, how am I going to be most effective in learning right now? What's going to set me up for success in frame 1? Because you see a lot of matches where frame 1 doesn't go well and it just cascades into a bad match. So in my opinion, the less practice shots you have, the more practice you should take on what is my goal frame 1, you know, because frame 1 for a lot of people are just another set of practice shots, you know.
Yeah. Actually, so that's a really good point. Because we only get 4 frames, a lot of people that are good players, when they're going into their first frame, they're actually using those shots to still survey the court. They're like watching them all very closely to see like how it's drifting, and then adjusting depending on how the game's going, or like how the biscuits hit. Go ahead.
Yeah, and you know, we play. Jeff leaving a 7 here. We play, you know, our 4-person league matches. Everybody plays an individual quadrant on this court, and you know, I think it's really frame 1 is really dependent. Like, I think yellow foot is extremely important. I think black head is extremely important because those are your first 2 hammer shots in a match, and it really boils down, in my opinion, to what is going to get you comfortable early, so that you know you always loosen up after the first couple frames. And sorry, I forgot we're watching some great shuffleboard here. Great clear from Jeff, but leaving it on the line here.
Yeah, so the first frame has started. They're already into. They're taking their last shots here. Jeff has the hammer. Bob's going for a hide. Let's see if he makes it. Nice, nice. It looks like Jeff probably has a good view on it. He's gonna go. It looks like he's gonna go for it. He's lining up. He's taking a look. He's checking his drift chart that he wrote. That's something else that we didn't touch on. Some people write their drift, the way the court drifts on a piece of paper. You're allowed to do that. Oh, nice shot.
Yeah, Jeff clearly feeling confident with the replace there. I don't hate Bob's shot, even if it's exposed, because Jeff has an option to take the right side of the board. Wide open hammer on that side. So a lot of people, even if it's partially covered, are just going to leave that because, it's you have an opportunity to get something on the open side.
Also, that made it harder for Jeff. Even though Jeff made that look easy, that wasn't an easy shot to take.
Not at all. He must know this court. He must know the discs already to opt into the harder shot versus, Jeff is very automatic in his hammers, so he must have felt good about that kitchen chance.
From what I remember about Court 2, so we're playing at Court 2 today at the Royal Palm Shuffleboard Club. I talk about it as in an M shape, but I'm being a little general here. There's little intricacies, but if you shoot towards the outside, it's going to drift out. And if you shoot towards the line, it's going to drift onto the line. So that's what I mean by like M-shaped drift.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean, where it's there's multiple points of elevation on courts like this, and you end up playing a very nuanced game because of it. Court 2 is one of the more complicated courts here in terms of drift. It's not obvious what's happening, so in my experience, sometimes you aim for center of mass, you go for the safer shots, but at this level of competition, that doesn't always work.
Court 2, I don't know how you feel, Adam, but Court 2 was the one that threw me off after COVID. For whatever reason, the way that the ground settled, Court 2 changed. I don't know. What do you think? Did you notice a difference, or did it always feel that way?
Absolutely. I think one took the biggest hit, and for those that haven't heard yet, directly to if we're looking at these players right now, to their right, there was just a massive building that got knocked down and leveled. So the ground underneath us is changing. These courts are changing all the time. Drift is not set in stone here. So, you ask maybe why are these people writing drift charts when they've played these courts for so long? And it's because, we're we're playing on shifty ground here.
All right, so it's 8-7. The light is hitting just in a way where, thank you. It's hitting just in a way where I'm not going to rely on that chalkboard. I'm going to keep the score in front of me. It's hard to see it. All right.
It's been a pretty standard match so far. You got two technical players here. Bob's sticking the clear. Jeff is obviously going to try and hide behind this. But, at this level of competition, at this point in Singles League, playing in the finals, these are two players who are very capable of executing in any situation. So it really is going to boil down to these little, sticks and taking advantage of those sticks. Jeff hiding perfectly here. You're going to see a lot of this match.
So I believe that this is Jeff's second time appearing in the final two, and this is Bob's first time appearing in the final two for Singles League.
Bob is first time in the finals. Jeff is clearly no stranger to this level of competition, and Bob is always on the cusp. He's one of our players, like hometown players, that everybody here is scared of. He's just so sound of a player. If you watch the other matches that he was in tonight, he'll sneak up on you, and he's so friendly about it too. It makes it really fun to lose to him. I've lost to him many times, and they've all been very frustrating.
I know that I played Bob. Interesting enough, Jeff said at the beginning of this match he doesn't know that he's ever played Bob before, and if he has, it was a long time ago. So never in maybe this setting, maybe in the league night, but he wasn't sure that he ever played him before. But I know that I played Bob because actually today he came up to me and he said, "Hey, I thought of you," and I said, "I hope you thought of something nice." And he's like, "Yeah, I was thinking of you when I made this shot. I put up a block instead of going on the board, and it was something we talked about in the past."
Yeah. Bob opting to go on the board there. I don't hate it. He had a clear line on this 8, but you never know what's going to happen on a court like this. So if he's feeling confident in his speed you take that 8-7 line and just move on. It's still so early.
I think I would have gone for it, but I'm not the one playing right now, so
Yeah.
it's like.
Yeah, it's easy to say what I would go for, but I find myself in these situations sometimes second guessing stuff like that. It's hard to aim at a 5-inch gap versus a 30-inch gap sometimes. Bob made the right choice there, clearly.
So we're on the 4th frame right now. Jeff's got the hammer. He's lining it up. It's at the tip of the 10, so he has the choice to clear this or try to hide something. But I think he's just going to try to clear it.
Wow, gives him a St. Pete here. Bob's been throwing up a lot of Tampas today, and I don't know if he's typically a Tampa player. So I wonder where that strategy came from, but it's clearly working so far.
All right, he's going to try to hide behind this. I think it's good.
It looks good to me.
They're going to have to go check.
Making Bob run. It's rude.
We're all hanging out on the other side. Nobody wants to go hang out over there. All right, it's good, though. Good 8.
These are hard clears because you're rolling a lot of the times and giving up a kitchen opportunity. So Jeff really using good speed there to make sure that he gets off the court, because you don't want to leave an 8 out there for Bob. He's going to kitchen that a lot of times.
And that was a good clear from Jeff, but now Bob has the opportunity to make the same hide but do a better job.
Yeah, it looks like the drift's really getting him. This one's even harder for Jeff because he rolls in the kitchen sometimes here. Maybe not Jeff, but
people do.
Most of us humans that play shuffleboard.
All right, let's see. Oh.
Nicks it. Really, I think wanted that stick or that roll behind that disc. So.
And that's what Bob wanted.
Bob's got a chance to block it here. If he blocks it up, I think Jeff just goes to the left side.
All right, he's lining up. He shoots. And
that's a good block. I don't know.
Yeah, I think Jeff might be able to get it if he wants to go for it.
Yeah,
so
it's early. It's I'd be surprised if he takes that level of risk here.
Jeff's lining up. He's focused. All right, he shoots.
Going for it.
Nice.
Right.
Nice hammy. Is that in the kitchen? No, not in the kitchen though, right? Oh, wow.
Wow, he does get the kitchen. So
nice hammy.
That's why
nice
Jeff's
hammy.
playing and I'm sitting here talking into a microphone. Great shot. Great shot. I don't know if sometimes you go for the 8 there for the upside, but Jeff feeling confident on this court.
That was a great frame. Great frame for Jeff, anyways.
Yeah, it's usually not a great frame for both players, but sometimes it is.
It's hard. It's like, of course, so I'm excited for Jeff. He's my partner, but, like, this is Bob's first showing, you know? Like, people are going to root for someone who hasn't won it yet. Or at least a lot of us like to, I know.
Yeah, and if Jeff continues to execute like that, it's going to be really difficult for Bob to keep up. All credit to Bob. He's an amazing player, but Jeff is just so battle-tested. And, last season, season 2, he, I think that hits the line there, yeah. Last season, Jeff was, I believe, down 42 to Paul Assad at one point and managed to scrape back for the win. So, comfortable playing with a lead, clearly. It's been there many times, but also doesn't lose focus when he's playing from behind.
Yeah, and that's something. So Jeff has been playing in these higher profile games. He's won a national championship, doing a non-walking tournament in Ohio, and he's been pressured in a lot of situations. So he really has that mind game down, and that's something actually I know when I've talked on the game, I haven't talked about a lot. Is these games are high pressure. You really have to stay focused and not let yourself get into your head.
Yeah, the nerves get tough. If you've been in this level of competition before, you know that even if you're taking shots a million times, you get put in this scenario and it all tenses up for a moment. So looks like Bob's going for a hide. I don't know about this. Maybe block the right side. It's early, but for someone like Jeff who's so good at executing, I don't think any shot blocks the whole right side of the board. So Jeff here, do you think he's going for the kitchen?
It's early. He's up. I think he's going for what we like to call kitchen plus. He's gonna hit it, but make sure not to drop it in that 7 by accident.
Yeah, he gave it plus speed there.
Yeah, that was
definitely
plus.
Just wants the 8, feeling himself, feeling the. I mean, he's clearly 2 hammers that just were spot on both times. So he's twirling his tang. He's feeling himself right now. Crowd's getting behind Bob. Look at that, always smiling.
And I don't remember if this court has an advantage. I think it's pretty even, but I don't remember at all. So I'm curious if Black has the advantage here, because that would be interesting when they switch.
I don't think so. In terms of, and we played the finals. Shout out to Big Money, Big Prizes, current champs, my team. We played the finals on this court last season, and the read from the team, the strategy was not drift dependent. I think this is a pretty true court as far as bombs goes.
So right now the score is 6-30. That's 24 points. Bob's thinking about, what can I do here? Could I hide behind it? Should I? It's pretty good St. Pete, so I know.
I don't know.
I'd probably
That's
just clear
St.
it
Pete's
out.
as good as it gets, but he looks like he's going for it. Nope. Tries to roll into his own St. Pete. I like it. Even if you're not going for scores here, you're going for upside.
At this point, you do have a lot of frames to try to make those points back, so you don't have to worry too much, but you really do need to be aggressive in trying to get back into the game so it doesn't go further, widen that gap further.
Yeah, and it's interesting. I agree with you too, and another perfect St. Pete up there. But Jeff last season when he was playing Paul, and for those of you who know Paul Assad, he's very, very good at this game. Jeff chose to play a more conservative strategy last season when he was down a few scores, and really let Paul kind of make the mistakes for him. Rolling into another St. Pete, great shot. Yeah, I'm a big advocate of don't make any massive changes until the turn, because the color difference here and the change of sides could open something up in a game. You're playing frame 1 all over again on frame 9.
Yeah, because right now you have enough frames. Say Jeff, like you think about frames this way. Say you steal Jeff's hammer a couple frames, like you're back in the game.
Got to get there.
Oh
no, slows down.
The crowd gave a lot of
That's unfortunate, yeah. Who hasn't been there?
We all wanted him to make that. Yeah, at that point, it would have helped him get closer to being back in the game in the sense of, closing that difference in the point gap.
Yeah, it would have been nice if he hit that, obviously, but I don't think the wind's out of Bob's sails yet. He's tenacious.
No. All right, so it's now Bob's hammer. He has 2 hammer. Oh, sorry. Never mind. He doesn't have 2 hammers in a row. He has his hammer, and then it'll switch. But
no, this is his last hammer with yellow.
Yeah.
Hopefully defend that 8th frame, and then we switch colors and try it again.
All right, so Jeff's just putting up St. P here. He's not really, sometimes he likes to, when he's up a point lead, he likes to be kind of like letting them lead the board, but he's putting up St. Pete's here, just letting them see what happens.
Bob's been leaving those sticks now. Is Jeff score here? Yeah, no, he doesn't.
Nah, he's just blocking it up.
Yeah, playing very conservative. I don't know. I feel like that's too early. Even with that lead, I feel like Jeff's such a good executor. Maybe he goes for that 7 once.
Yeah, I feel like it wasn't the perfect St. Pete, so, he is just being conservative. That one needs to be removed.
Look at that. Bob just so spry.
He's quick.
What vitamins are you taking, Bob?
Oh, man. So
what
Jeff's
do you do here?
up.
This is a very common situation where
Jeff's just blocking it up.
Yeah, I think that's fine. You don't want to be on the board in this situation when you're up so much. Clearly a high 8 is the default, but the risk is too high to leave it deep and give Bob a chance to kitchen or give him a backstop.
Oh.
That's deep. Oh, that's
no.
unfortunate.
That's a -10.
Oh, man.
That's a bummer.
Yeah.
Still not impossible, but that doesn't feel good.
No.
You can see them both shaking their head.
For 42, we know it's possible. For over 42, I don't know. But Jeff with a clear path to back-to-back championships here, but still 9 more frames.
So now it's negative 430, so that's 34 points now. That's the difference.
34. I think it was single season 1. I was up maybe 15 on Bob and feeling really good. And I had an 8 blocking a 7. They were both in, and Bob somehow managed to stick an 8 and double kitchen those. So do not count him out in any scenario.
All right, so he's going on the board. He knows I got to make something happen.
Yeah, he's no stranger to the dynamics of a game like this. So, now it's a matter of how well can Jeff clear. We may end up seeing a very blocking clear, scoring clear type game for the rest of this.
Well,
it's a shuffleboarders match right now.
Once they switch colors, I think it will be the fastest who can adjust. And Bob could take advantage of that. So he's going to.
And I'm still trying to figure out scientifically why black discs are always slower than yellow discs. Leave something in the comments if you know why, but seems to be universal here. No matter what, yellow glides a little bit faster than black. So, who knows if Jeff goes long on a couple shots when he switches over to yellow. But his clears are looking great right now.
Oh, he left it.
I don't know how over the line that is, but Bob definitely has to go for a kitchen shot here. He's checking. He knows he needs to kitchen here.
And here at the Palms and with our singles league, we let people go look at it. We don't say you have to stand behind the line and
don't
look.
be lame.
None of that.
Let people walk.
All right, so he knows what to do. He's going to try to kitchen this. Score
I
on
think
it
a kitchen's way more valuable than a score here. So.
Yeah, you're right. It might be on the line where if he hits it, it's just going to end up on the line. So
even if it's so close to the line that he doesn't get 2, you still go for the kitchen there because you block it up. Versus you leave an exposed 8, and Jeff's going to capitalize on that so often.
So Jeff's going to try to score here to just seal in some more points.
Automatic.
Yeah, and he makes it.
Look at that.
All right, so we're ending the turn of the game at negative 438. A significant point lead, but not impossible because if you remember when Jeff played Paul was up by 40-something points, and Jeff turned around the next half of the game.
Yeah, Bob left a couple sticks there. Jeff is the kind of person that's going to capitalize on every mistake that you make, and he's going to make very few mistakes himself. So just grinding right now, clearly demonstrating what S-tier shuffleboard, top-level shuffleboard is.
And I agree. I feel like watching the game, it's just a couple of, sticks that Bob has made and Jeff has capitalized on it. It's nothing too crazy. That's just the difference on scoring a couple extra points or not.
That's all it is. There's no glaring errors that happen here. I don't remember any major whiffs from Bob. It's just a couple sticks that Jeff capitalized on, and I don't know how it translates to the big screen, but this is I think this is as good as it gets in terms of shuffleboard skill at this moment. Jeff just executing so well, taking the risks when he needs to, taking the safe shots when he needs to. It's very difficult to beat something like that.
And this is where that mental game part of the game comes into the game. So if I'm Bob and I'm down this much during the middle of the game, you really do have to keep that attitude of the same thing happened in those 8-frame games. I can turn around by that much in the next 8 frames. You can't let yourself feel defeated. You just have to be ready to go.
Yeah. No, I think it's time to change gears here. Bob may play one conservative. He's throwing up a block as a practice shot here, so I'm assuming he's going to play a conservative frame, frame 9 here, but he's going to have to change gears and turn it up here for to try and gain ground.
Yeah, you can see some of his practice shots he's turning towards going for hides, going for cross court.
Jeff, interestingly, just went all 8s, I think, on his practice shots, and he's off camera right now. He's writing stuff down on his little notepad, so definitely just charting, keeping an eye on the drift. Probably checking speed of the discs, like we mentioned. Yellow and black tend to vary in how fast they are, so I think Jeff's just looking for a conservative strategy here.
Sorry.
Yeah, Bob's still with the practice shot. the practice block.
You know, at some point if I'm in this, I'm still going with my same warm-up shots because I want to know what the court's like. I feel like if you don't survey the court enough, you're not going to be able to play the game. But I've seen people just start to take, like, they'll shoot for an 8 or a 7 and then just try to do a kitchen shot here just to try to get some shots to, like, practice that kitchen shot because they know they're going to have to go for that.
Yeah. No, and I you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it for sure. But if I'm in Bob's situation, I'm probably just throwing 7s here, trying to fine-tune that kitchen bait, because you're going to need it on this back half for sure. So, you know, every missed 7 against Jeff is just a huge missed opportunity. So if I'm Bob, I'm trying to dial in those 7s and just, you know, hope and pray that Jeff just leaves something.
And I do notice, too, that Jeff often takes all of his warm-up shots when there's only 4 from the outside. I think his thinking here is just like, I'm going to get a good idea of the court from the outside and then adjust for the inside.
Yeah, and he's has some interesting strategy here at Palms in general, in that he thinks that you can cut into the drift a lot more often from the 4. Court 2, court 3 from the earlier match tonight, you get a lot of 50-50s where you can shoot the same line twice and it's going to go right once, it's going to go left once. But you can really cut into that or eliminate that shooting from the 4 because you're always shooting at an angle. So I feel like with his level of execution, shooting from the 4 makes total sense. But with my level of execution, shooting from the 4 usually leaves me about a foot short.
So something I heard today, Adam, I don't know if you're aware of this, but so right now, you know, they're taking a little break before they start this game. But I heard after this, a lot of people are heading over to Buffalo Wild Wings. Is that true? Do you know about this?
Long Island iced teas, baby. Yeah, I have heard about this. It's on the Discord. Shout out Discord. Yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings is over down by Barclays, which we're not far from. And we had an outing there, I don't know, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, and it was fucking awesome. Buffalo Wild Wings rules. I know,
they should definitely sponsor us.
So Matt Bird over here, Thanksgiving winner, wants Buffalo Wild Wings to sponsor us. We're open. We're looking for not just anyone, but they're on our short list of people that we would allow to sponsor us for Shuffleboard next year.
I know I'm excited to go. I didn't know about it till this morning, but I haven't been paying attention, so.
Buffalo Wild Wings is the kind of thing that, like, I never want to go until I'm there, and then I never want to leave.
I have a fondness. I just like it every once in a while. I think it's so fun. But, all right, so I don't know what Rogers – I don't know if you guys can see Rogers chit-chatting with them. They're going to start their game, but so we're
Roger,
gonna get
great
started
job,
here.
Roger. Back-to-back top 4s. I think I mentioned that already. Top 4 in Thanksgiving, too, so just clearly figuring something out in singles.
All right, so Bob's taking a look. He's –
Do you think in Buffalo they just call it Wild Wings?
I think it depends, but they call it BW3s because it used to be like Buffalo Wild Wings and WEC. WEC is, if you've been to the greater New York State area, it's like a sandwich they serve. So they call it BW3s, and I just know this because I dated someone in college that lived in that area. But yeah, so they call it BW3s.
I want to know what makes the wings wild, too. they're regular wings.
Yeah, why aren't they crazy? Why can't it be Buffalo
Jeff just
crazy wings?
So precise clearing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Does Bob ever try and hide a weird, crazy 7, like Suicide Alley here? I don't think so.
I think he's just going for kitchen.
I think he's just,
hoping to get Jeff to mess up.
Jeff just staying off the board. Happy with his lead right now.
All
Comfortable protecting it.
Let's score this point, Bob.
Drop an 8.
You can do it.
Bob needs to make up for that other 8 that he got robbed on.
Because if you score here, you steal a hammer.
Sure.
Score again.
That's part of what we were saying. Those blacks are just, the black discs are slow. And I wonder if Bob would have been better served skipping those practice blocks and practicing a little bit more on the distance.
Yeah, and something I was just thinking about when he missed that 8, but it's like You still do have 7 frames, and you have yourself. So that was his hammer. He has, I guess that would be. Sorry, I can't count right now. But he has a couple more hammers to score. But also, if he steals
I think
hammers,
he's got 3 more hammers because we get 4
Yeah, 3
per
more
8
hammers.
frames, and he
Okay,
just
thank
used
you.
one.
So 3 more hammers to score, and then on top of that, if you steal some hammers, you're still doing pretty good.
Oh yeah, there's no reason to panic now if you're Bob. We've seen the landscape change drastically in so many games, especially at a high level where you're able to execute when you need those double scores. Bob going on the board here. Jeff just clearing to perfection always.
All right, he's lining up. He shoots, going for the 10.
I like
it
that
looked
Bob's
like.
keeping it in the center of the board, really trying to maximize sticking opportunities. Jeff not getting that off the board, that's exactly it. A lot of times when I'm behind, I'm less concerned in the early discs with scoring and more concerned with hoping that they stick. So I'll aim for that 8-8 line because you get that split chance, but you also get a major chance of them just leaving something on the board. Bob going for the kitchen there, case in point.
I love the 8-8 line. I will often use that as one of my varieties of like trying to get people to stick because they don't know the drift there.
I want to talk about that shot. Jeff replacing there and not going for the kitchen, but not giving it enough of a speed that he's off the board. I wonder if he felt comfortable leaving that high. The trade-off here is the kitchen opportunity.
Yeah, and that's something to know.
I don't know if the drift
bummer.
took that, but something working for Jeff there.
Yeah, that's something to know. If you notice, like,
Damn,
so
that's a tough frame for Bob.
16 points.
Yeah.
That's rough. So something that happens there, well, minus the 16 points, but Bob didn't look too happy about that. He turned around and kind of stuck his tongue out.
Yeah.
It's like, it's rough. That 59?
I'm not the math guy around here.
Yeah.
I probably lost matches because people just write random numbers on the board. I'm like, sure, that works. All right, a little bit deeper would have been nice, but this is workable. Jeff just keeping everything off the board.
All right. So it is 59 minus 4.
I mean, at this point, I don't mind saying it's going to be difficult for Bob to claw back from this. That's not in, but it's a Tampa. It's fine. I feel like he gets a Tampa here on the replacement.
Oh, you know what? That might be 54. Sorry about that.
Yeah.
54 negative 4. I apologize. I was relying on the writing on the chalkboard.
It's a lot to a little right now, and that's just not going to get there. I wonder if the speed's getting to him, but the drift took that too for sure.
Yeah.
Jeff just staying aggressive. I don't know about that, but at this point in the lead, maybe it doesn't matter anymore. Bob has a chance to really turn it around here.
I will say, though, I mean, I know it's tough when you're in the game, but I will play a game until the very end just thinking I'm just going to keep scoring as much as I can.
Bob looks like he's struggling with the drifts here. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm a big fan of not taking your foot off the gas.
Wow. 16 more points for Jeff.
Still smiling. I know he would take some of this back, but
yeah, 70 negative 4.
all right. Well, for those of you that haven't fast forwarded,
Bob just turned around and he said, "We got to erase this game.
We got to erase this game."
This
is
they're saying this is why we film the semifinals, so you can see everything that happens.
This is my big
just
debut
not
on the
the
mic.
last
Nobody's
game,
gonna watch
because
it for more than 20
sometimes
minutes.
in these last games, something you got to keep in mind, they've each played two games before this. They've been here for a while. It gets a little like tiresome.
There's a consistency here. There's coming down towards us last frame. A couple things went right. I'm assuming they're watching. We have 2 cameras. That's a new thing today too. So On black side, we have a couple disco black way. Bob missing it to the black side there again. I wonder if there's a drift here that is still being discovered or figured out by Bob.
Yeah, it does seem like the black discs are a little slow, which may make the game difficult.
Yeah, and let's see. I don't know.
All right, I think it's just trying to clear that out. Yeah.
There you go.
Nice,
there
Bob.
you go, Bob.
We're gonna have a fun game no matter what. Even if the score's up, we're gonna keep it going.
That's the thing. It doesn't matter if you lose by 1 or 80. You still get $700 for second place. So Bob's walking away happy here. I know his wife's in the building. His team's in the building watching him. There we go.
All right, 2 sevens. 77 to 3. He got out of the negative. That's good.
Bobby Sauce, as I know the last guys referred to him, a crowd favorite at Palms, always. So seeing him get this far is, you know, it's a big win for everybody here. I think we're all very happy for him.
The other thing too is like, you know, we have the top 2 players playing in Brooklyn right now after this long game tournament that they went through, and it's really like to be at the top 2 is just such an accomplishment. You played so many games and you had to win so many games to get here.
This is a journey. This is like, I don't know.
Ooh,
we
nice
should call
kitchen.
that in. Just
that looks good.
Yeah, let's call it in. Let's keep it close.
The funny thing is we have about 30 people watching this game, and no one wants to run in to call it in for anyone.
Third call. We're calling a third call. Hold on, I got a third call.
All right, we're asking for a third call.
I'm calling it in.
Adam's joking, he's calling it in. It does look good, but here's Adam. He's checking it out. Oh! Adam called it not in. Adam said it's not in, so.
Listen, I got to maintain the integrity of the game. I wanted to call it in, but it's not in. We're trying to keep it close.
So, curious question for you, Adam. If something's really, really close, say you're playing a game, it's an important game in your team game, whatever. If there's something that's really close, but you're like, it looks like it's almost out, are you going to get a third call if it's to your advantage?
Always.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same.
You use the tools to your advantage whenever you can.
I do the same thing, but only when it's really close, like not something obvious.
It can't be obvious. Like, there is a fine line, and I think Chicago has defined it well in terms of spirit of the game.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
It's a common sense judgment call, and we're all, you know, I say a lot of times we play against each other, but we also play with each other, you know, and the goal is not to trick your opponent or you know, take away the fun of the game. But there is a competitive spirit to it, and if it is a borderline call,
Nice shot by Bob.
you don't know what that third call is going to be. I should have called that in.
So Bob just made his hammer. Well, you know, if it wasn't in, it wasn't in. But
I got to maintain my reputation as a third call.
They're doing
Look at
a
that.
clap
Crowd's
for Bob.
getting hyped up.
They're cheering him on. So we got
Bob,
18 for
I wanted to call
Bob.
that in. I should have. All right. If I got your blessing, I would have.
So it looks
Spirit
like
of the game,
85-18. But just to touch on that, calling your biscuit. So say you go to look, you're playing against someone, like in this game, and you're like, hey, it looks close. The other person thinks it's out. You think it's in. Get a third call. Simple as that.
Yeah, one thing I've always said to my team is never call it out before your opponent calls it out. Don't go down there and say it's out, because they're just going to agree with you. Sure, if you call it out, I call it out. So you can go down and look at it, see what your opponent's going to say, but don't be the first one to call it out, because you're not doing yourself any favors. And
sometimes with the way the courts are, it's like, you know, you call it the spirit of the game, but we also call it the spirit of the line. Like sometimes there's a little bit of paint missing, and it looks like a line should be there. So it's good to get that third call. And at different courts, you'll see different things. It's like really, you know, nice painted lines. Some are a little like more like fuzzy. So, yeah, don't be afraid to get that third call. All right, Bob's lining up. A lot's on the board right now. Oh!
There we go. Clearly a crowd favorite here, Bob Cicelli.
So
Bob, we got to get you in frame.
everybody's really excited for Bob. He just kitchened that biscuit. We just want to see Bob like kitchen everything before this all goes out. Oh, that kitchen's still in there though. Jeff just cleared the board but left the kitchen in. So.
Yeah, there we go.
Sorry, I just yelled in. Bob asked, "Should I put 2 in?" And everybody said, "Yeah."
Always putting on a show here. Crowd favorite.
All right, we're getting rowdy. Rowdy on a Sunday
This
afternoon.
wouldn't be the first double kitchen I've seen from Bob.
Does he make it? He shoots. No!
Ah.
He missed it. All right, Jeff's going to shoot, and he's probably going to try to put something on. Oh, he's going to try to clear that out. Duh. All right, Jeff cleared it out.
Yeah. People don't even know how to react to this level of execution from Jeff. It's just too automatic at this point.
So we
Can't
got
keep getting away with it.
2 more frames, and I will say in 2 frames it's pretty difficult to make up this amount of points, but Bob's going to keep trying, and I would too.
I got a question for you, since there, we really don't need to. No offense to the game here, but let's fill up some time with some larger conversations, because yourself, currently the number 1 ranked woman in the world at shuffleboard.
True.
Jeff down there, number 3. We got a national coming up next year.
Yes, this year.
Oh,
sorry, national. Yes.
We're hosting a national next year.
Yes.
I know it's a doubles tournament, but I just want to open it up to national players. We got so many good players out there, but who's beating Jeff on his home court? I don't think anybody is.
Oh, yeah. That's a good point. I mean, we have so many good players here. It's going to be a doubles match, and I like to think that Jeff and I are going to play together. We probably will.
Oh, I would be shocked if you didn't.
We are playing together in Chicago, and we love playing together.
That was going to be my next question: is who's beating the 2 of you combined?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody outside of Brooklyn. I think there's people here that can compete on any given Sunday. But I don't know anybody outside of Brooklyn that can compete on Brooklyn courts with Brooklyn players. I think it's going to be
So who
I think
out
we're going to
there-
put on a clinic.
Who out there watching wants to come face me and Jeff? No, there's going to be so many good Brooklyn players, too, and there's going to be some killer combos.
Oh, yeah, Matt and Alyssa. Alyssa Bird played earlier tonight. Her husband,
Maybe
Matt
Mike and
Bird.
Mike.
Mike and Mike.
Mike and Mike,
always
who won
a
a
good team.
national doubles competition in Chicago last year.
Yeah.
They're the reigning champs
There's just
until
so
this upcoming. The Chicago Nationals tournament is happening later this August. Oh.
I'll call that in. That's her 3rd call.
But you're right that the competition's going to be pretty stiff, but I'm trying to think in Chicago if anybody got close that was out of town. I mean, Mike and Mike came from out of town, so some Chicago people might show up and really take it.
And they're going to come in hungry, too. I'm
Yeah.
really excited for it. But you also have, I know Eric Hobbin out there is
Yeah, I thought of him
hungry
too.
to win on a Palms court. And he's someone who can adapt very quick and always puts in the work.
So,
Bob Jones Jr., always a
yeah.
threat.
They're amazing
Snap
players.
may bring in a miracle partner and just win the whole thing.
Yeah, it really comes down to, playing the game, and if you're a good player, you can adjust. So I wouldn't count anybody out, even people showing up from out of state. And interesting enough, because NICE has been formed, we've been starting to connect with other players in New Jersey and New York, and they might show up and also play and maybe win.
Yeah, no,
We got some
I'm
Troy
very
players.
excited for it.
Troy
Also,
players
before
in New
before
Jersey.
we wrap this up, Bob Cicelli is a nice board member, so near and dear to our hearts. Very very clearly cares about the sport. Helping to lead an initiative to bring us out to New Jersey to play with that crew. So he's not just a Palms player; he is a shuffleboard ambassador through and through. Still smiling. I don't know if he's on camera right now. He's still smiling.
This is a good example of even if you're down in the points and the game's like not going your way, you're gonna keep scoring and keep playing the game because it's fun. And also, like, if I have the last shot of the frame and the 10's open, I'm gonna go for a 10 every time just because I can.
You should. We're all friends here.
Even if I'm losing, I'm like, I'm gonna go for the cherry.
Absolutely. It's reps. No rep
Yeah.
left. You know.
Practice for later.
Exactly, and it's just fun too. You always want to leave on a high note.
So we were talking about it, but just to be clear, we're having a nationals
Bob's
tournament
shaking
in
his
Brooklyn next year in June. So please follow our Instagram, New York Shuffleboard Association, to learn more and follow for info about that.
Jeff going for the cherry on the last shot, like we were just
I
talking
don't think
about.
that's in. All right, Bob's last shot. What's he gonna do? It's the last shot
I
of
think
the
he
game.
needs about 50 something. I don't even know.
Nice.
All right. And on a high note. There we go.
Congrats to Jeff Zev.
Yeah.
The first
Love
place.
the handshake at the end. You know these guys they played a lot together. They love each other.
Congrats to Bob, second place. This was a great game. I know halfway through the points got pretty crazy, so
Yeah, send us out.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more games come.
Yeah, Missy Keiko, Adam Fertino, Jeff Zev winner, Bob Cicelli, Bobby Sauce, number 2. Can't wait for the next one. Peace out.
All right, bye.